not gonna lie, every time I go to record a video, I get really nervous and a lot of anxiety. I don't know why. I was listening to Jenna Kutcher the other day, and she has a podcast, the Gold Digger podcast, and there was a really good one about implementing videos into your business. Basically, what the podcast was saying was that me, as the person that's putting out the videos, I need to remember and understand that I'm not speaking to millions of people. I'm speaking to just one person. And they actually said to put a picture up of someone behind the camera, of someone that you admire or someone in your family. So I did put a picture of my little baby right in front of me so that I can kind of giggle as I go along and just realize that this is a really fun part of my business, and I don't have to be too nervous about it because this is something I'm passionate about. I love makeup. I know I have some great tips and tricks to share with people, and so I just need to relax. I need to drink my Diet Coke, listen to my music, and just film videos of makeup looks that I love. Now, I'm gonna go over a summer contour look. So I have been really into cream lately, and a lot of people stay away from cream contour. I get it. It is a little bit intimidating. I totally understand. But I'm gonna show kind of like a foolproof way to do it. I am putting sunscreen on today. So what I'm using, I should have showed this earlier, is the Image, there we go, the Image sunscreen, and this is the 30 SPF. It is a little bit thicker, so it's not like the smoothest to put on, but honestly, my skin has not been sunburned at all during the summer, and a lot of my dark spots have gone away, and it's super important to protect your skin. So just put some sunscreen on. It's no big deal. Next, I'm gonna go in with my Becca primer. So this is a matte primer. I do like this primer quite a bit. It's pretty thick, so I only use a little bit, but I do put it more around my nose area because I do tend to have larger pores. And I'm gonna mix it with my L'Oreal Lumi Glotion. I love the Lumi Glotion so much. I'm telling you, it's like the prettiest glow. I have it all along my chest. I have it in the darker shade. Now what I'm going to use is this Becca under eye brightener, and this is the shade light to medium. So it's a very, very bright under eye concealer with a ton of pink in it. I don't really have super dark circles, as you can tell, but it's definitely darker right here in this corner, so I do like to lighten this up quite a bit. You could totally use a brush if you want to. I'm just using my hands because it's convenient. And yeah, I wish I had a better answer. I am going to use the best foundation, the Estee Lauder Double Wear foundation, and this is in the color Dusk, so it's 3C1. I love this foundation so freaking much. Even if I want a lighter coverage during the summer, I still use this foundation. I'm gonna add a few drops of my Lumi Glotion in with that foundation to sheer it out and just have a really pretty summer glow. What I like to do with foundation is go in layers. So I did my first layer with the Glotion. Now I'm gonna go in with just the Double Wear foundation and build up a little more coverage along my jawline because I like to cover up all my zits. Why would I want them to be seen? No, thank you. Next, I'm gonna go in, of course, with my Tarte Shape Tape, and this is in the shade Light Medium Honey. And then I am also going to add the Maybelline Fit Me, and this is in the shade Fair. A great tip for concealer is to blend it all the way to your hairline. So you don't want it to stop right here. We want to keep the lightness going all the way to the hairline to really brighten up your face. So just blend it up. You really just want to blend everything right up. Now for the contour part. So I have tried several different cream contours and I haven't not liked any of them. It is how you use them. So I see a lot on Instagram and YouTube, a lot of people like putting it straight on their face, which might work for you and that's totally fine. It personally doesn't work for me. So what I like to do is take one of my brushes, and this brush is like the best brush on the planet. This is the Expert Face Brush from Real Techniques, and I got this at Ulta. I'm gonna use the Infallible Longwear Shaping Stick Foundation in the shade 410 Cocoa. I'm gonna pat it with my brush. So this picks up quite a bit of product, And then what I do next is I always dab it on the back of my hand just like that. You can see there's quite a bit that already came off. And then I am going to see exactly where I want to put my cream contour. And I'm just going to pat that right along my jawline. And then I always take a little bit of the remaining product and put it on my eyelid to start warming that up for my eyeshadow. So I do this in layers because I don't want to do the stick just on my face all at once. I don't want it to ruin all the good stuff that I just put on. I'm going to, again, pat my brush onto that contour stick. I'm going to remove the extra, and then I'm going to pat it. So if you are nervous of cream contour, I get it. Just do this method. Add a little bit to your brush, brush it off on your hand, and then pat it in. Oh, I also got this stick and the highlighting one that I'll show you in a second at Target on clearance for like $4. I really felt amazing when I found these. I contour more on top of my nose, not on the sides, because I'm not looking to widen my nose. I'm looking to make it smaller. Now there is obviously extra on the top of my nose, so I'm just gonna take my Maybelline Fit Me concealer, since it's the lightest, and add a few dots, and I'm just blending it out with my same foundation brush. Now that I have my contour on, I am going to contour my jawline, and this is something that I just started doing, and it's like really fun. I like doing it, and I'm actually going to use the stick for this. So I'm going to go along my jawline and draw literally a line. Does that look crazy or what? And this just helps chisel out your jawline. Like, it almost lifts your face. It's incredible. I used to not do this. I used to not want to do this. But my friend does it, and it like looks so ridiculously good on her. And I had neck contour FOMO, so here I am. Now I'm gonna go in with my blush, and I'm going to be using the Pixie line. So this is the Pixie by Petra, and this is in the color Natural. This is not a typical product I would reach for. Whenever I see gel or anything, it makes me think of something really sticky, and that's gonna make my makeup look really patchy, but it doesn't. I add a little bit onto my hand. I wipe off the extra on my brush just like that. This is the Real Techniques brush, the Instapop cheek brush. So I always start a little bit higher because I don't want my face to droop. So when I smile, I want my cheeks to be flush. And when my face is down, I still want my blush to be in the same spot. So I really don't smile and put blush on, because if I do that, it's gonna end up right here. Do you see that? You get it? So don't do that. The next product I'm going to use is another Infallible L'Oreal product, and this is the highlight in the shade Slay in Rose. That's what it is. It's a nice pearly shade, and I'm going to take another Real Techniques brush and just pat a little bit of that onto my brush, and then pat that onto my face. Okay. Now that all my cream's on, I'm gonna finally set it, and I'm gonna use my Maybelline Fit Me powder, and this is in the shade Light. So I'm only gonna put this powder where I did my foundation and my concealer. So I'll just take a light fluffy brush and pat into the compact and dab that powder on to set all the cream. And then to lighten up my under eyes, I'm going to use my MAC contour palette. These look so bright, it's just because of the light. But I'm going to use my lightest shade right here and dab my brush into that, and then put that right underneath my eyes. Now that I have all that set, I'm going to go in with my bronzer, and I'm going to use the Too Faced Dark Chocolate Soleil, and this is the deep color. I think this is the darkest bronzer that they have. And I'm going to use my E.L.F. pointed powder brush and just warm up that contour color. Now, one of my favorite parts is the blush. So I'm going to use my MAC blush, and this is Into the Pink Extra Dimension blush, and I love a pop of pink for the summer. This just has a little luminosity to it, which is super pretty. Last for my face to finish it up is my highlighter. So I'm going to use the MAC Soft and Gentle, and I use this all the time. I think I've had this compact for about 3 years, and I'll probably have it for a lot longer. They just last a really long time. I'm gonna set my face a little bit all over with a translucent powder. I like the Airspun powder. Now that my face is all set, I'm going to spray it with the MAC Fix Plus spray. I love this spray. I just hate the way that it sprays. Sometimes you get big chunks on your face and it's just like, you're gonna ruin my makeup. But I really do love it. So what are you gonna do? I'm gonna do my lips really fast because I cannot stand the way they look right now with no product on. What I first do is obviously pick the lip liner that you want. I'm using Nude Whisper. And then what I'm gonna do now is just follow my top lip line, that shape, and I'm going to just shade right on top of my lip line and then just a little bit above. And I'm only doing this right in the middle on my top lip. Now that I have that thicker line created on the top of my lip, I'm gonna go to my bottom lip now and do the same thing. Now that I have those two thick lines on the top and the bottom created, now I'm going to connect the rest of the lip liner and just do a regular thin line of lip liner. Now I'm going to use the MAC lipstick in the shade Myth. Next, I'm going to take my Maybelline Lip Plumper, and this is in the shade Tease. Now I'm going to add the plumping lip gloss just right in the middle of my lips. I'll move on to eyebrows, and I'm using my NYX Fill in Full, and this is in the shade Ebony, I believe, Espresso, in the shade Espresso. And I'm just going to fill in my eyebrows. I'm going to move on to my eyes, and I'm just going to do a really light eyeshadow look today. I'm going to use my Anastasia Soft Glam palette, and you can see it's very loved. I use this constantly. I'm going to dip into the orange soda color and just start blending this over my whole entire eyelid. Now I'm going to use my cream contour stick that I used on my face and take a little bit on my brush and just add that all over my lid. And to set that, I am going to add a little bit of the MAC Soft and Gentle highlight and set that cream in place. I'm going to add a little bit of the burnt orange to warm this up. Now I'm using my favorite Lancome mascara and just adding a few coats to my lashes before I apply my false lashes. I'm wearing the style Jane today, and this is a very wispy Kim K lash. I love to use the Lash Duo Brush On Glue in Dark. If you're a newbie, this is a great glue, and also using the white one, that one dries clear. So if you make a mistake and have to move your lash, you won't have a little black spot in that spot that you moved your lash. So I would recommend using the Brush On Glue. I waited 30 seconds for my glue to dry, so I'm going to apply my lashes. And I'm going to look straight down into my mirror and place it just right on top of my lash line and then put it in place. Then my next one, I'm going to again look straight down into my mirror, place that lash right on top of my lash line and then put it in place. So I pinch it on the corner to make sure it's in the right spot that I want, and then I'm going to pull it to the corner and really pinch down that corner well so that it doesn't pop up. Then I'm going to add a little bit of mascara to my bottom lash and I'll be done. The final look is very fresh and perfect for summer. I love using the cream contour because it adds such a natural look to all this makeup that I have on my face. It definitely gives it more depth and dimension and doesn't look too powdery. I want my skin to look very dewy and yummy and fresh for summer, and so this is the perfect step to use.